Good day, beautiful folks. This is my 2 cents on the Alabama Brawl. They got what they were looking for. Um, I'm not going to say we're not our ancestors because we definitely are ancestors. That goes without saying. Same blood, same people. It's just a different time. Laws are different. Circumstances are different. Media is different. The money's flowing different. So there's a lot of differences, but still the same people, the same fight, the same love, same drive inside. It's a beautiful thing to see us stand up for each other. It really is. I'm going to go ahead and assume that they assumed that that situation was just going to go one way. But I was pleasantly surprised, and they were unpleasantly surprised to see that it did not go in their favor. You know, the majority out there were Black people, and I don't know what possessed them. I guess they're so comfortable with disrespecting, disregarding, and abusing us in our bodies that it's just second nature to them to just think that you can attack someone that's doing their job, attack someone physically that you don't agree with. You know, now I know that there's a such thing as fighting words. There are certain things that you can do and you can say that can definitely earn you a ass whooping. But the man was doing his job. He was just pointing here and there. I don't know what the words were being said because you couldn't really hear what they were saying to each other. You could just see the gestures and whatnot. And he was just telling them to do something, you know, and they knew that they were wrong. They knew that they were parked there illegally and they were hindering these other boating vessels from parking or docking, you know. But I just wanted to say I'm very proud of my people. I'm proud to see us first and foremost stand up for each other in a big way. Violence begets violence. And the sad thing is that we have always been the ones to be told to turn the other cheek. Stolen, raped, murdered, children taken away and kidnapped, family members taken away and kidnapped, stripped of our names, stripped of our history, stripped of our religion, our spirituality. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of this. But we're always the one expected to be the bigger person and turn the other cheek. And that's one sad thing about the Bible, how it's been turned and misconstrued and abused. Okay, and that's why you have a lot of people turning away from it. But if we could just see ourselves in it, there wouldn't be anything that could stop us. If we just knew that it was actually talking about us. Because that's the reason why they only gave us a certain type of Bible during slavery. They didn't give us the parts with the uprising, with the slaves and the rebelling and things of that nature. They gave you the docile parts. They gave you the turn the other cheek parts. They gave you the love your neighbor part. But what people are not understanding is your brother and your neighbor was actually your brother and your neighbor. It was your family member, because the Bible is for a certain group of people. The Bible is for the children of Israel. So people like to do this all inclusive and the whole world. It wasn't talking about the whole world in certain instances. It was talking about a particular world, a particular group of people. Turn the other cheek to your brother that you're having a disagreement so that you don't kill one another. Not turn the other cheek to people who are obviously abusing you, misusing you, raping you, killing you, cutting babies out of you. I fail to believe that's what that was saying. So it's time for us to stop listening to the people who have taught us to think a certain way. It's time for us to stop, read it for ourselves, read more than one thing for ourselves, okay? So we can get different points of view, so we can get the truth, we can dig and get closer and closer to a better understanding for ourselves, a better, clearer understanding for ourselves of who and what we are. To the young man, Aaron, that's in that video, the 16-year-old who swam to the defense of his elder, I applaud that young man. We're dealing with, and people don't, listen, we're dealing with a different generation. These kids are quick with the fists. They're not dealing with the other cheek. That's just what I just said. They're not hearing the other cheek stuff no more. Like that's dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? Most of them haven't even been taught that. It's just, we about to bam. All right. And I don't know how long this society in this world expects us just to lay down. They expect us to lay down because we've been lied to so long that we're the minority. Everywhere we go, we're the minority when we're actually the majority. Everything's been flipped, turned upside down, you know? And I am so happy that the truth is coming out. Piece by piece, little by little, we're coming into different dynamics and you know, of who we are, who we could be, the past, the truth, the history, things of that nature. And people are coming out of churches, they're coming out of the lies, and that's a beautiful thing. And it's going to be wonderful to see us stick together more and more and more. So before we do the division of, oh, I'm this group of people, I'm this, we're black first. You know why? Because that's what you're going to see first. You're only going to see a black face first, and that's what you're going to identify with. You're not going to look and see, oh, he's Ethiopian, oh, he's American, oh, he's from Mississippi, or all of these different divisions, and you know, he's from LA and he's from New York. And no, you're not going to know all of that unless the person tells you or you find that out. What you're going to see is black first. And that's what we need to start sticking on first, because where civilization came from, where we all derive from at some point in time, that's where the power is. That's where our power is. And that continent has been divided time and time again and colonized, is still colonized. If the motherland, if home can come together, which I'm starting to see, some of these countries are like, look, we don't want your input. They're talking to the colonizers, these other countries that have colonized them. We don't want your input. We don't want your aid. We don't want your this and your that. And that's a great step, because they have really done a number on us, starting with the motherland, and they have been pillaging and stealing and taking advantage of ever since. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the Alabama brawl. Salute to us for sticking up for each other. Salute to the young man, to the lion's whelp. If you know what I'm talking about scripturally, it says that Judah is a lion's whelp. Why are you going to go and mess with him? He's laying there, he's all right. But when you start poking the bear, you're going to get what you get. And I don't feel sorry for people. You know, I just don't feel sorry, because there was no mercy or anything like that given to that man who was trying to just do his job. And it's ridiculous. It's been ridiculous, but it's still crazy out here in 2023 that we're dealing with some of the same things we dealt with back in the 60s, in the 20s, in the 1860s. And we don't even think about the fact that some of these racist laws are still on the books. They're just not enforced. But these things are still on the books in some of these states, you know? But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching, and you be blessed and take care of one another.